Hello everybody, Kilomusi here, and today I will be doing what if Deku was reborn as a slime, part 27. So in the last part, I just basically covered the Island incident, or just the Two Heroes movie. So continuing the story, it would have been the day of the training camp, with Class 1A boarding the bus to the location of the training camp, as that part would be the same as the anime. Them taking the bus to the location for an hour, as they would stop for a bathroom break. Deku, after leaving the bus, would notice that Class 1B is nowhere to be seen. Him also noticing that the Wild Wild Pussycats is, well, there, because ultrasonic wave. Him also knowing that there are earth monsters in that forest that's below them. As this is when the pussycats would just, well, walk out of the bus and surprise everyone, except for Deku, because he already knows that they're there, with the Wild Wild Pussycats explaining the training camp, as Class 1A would finally caught on to what they are going to do. Them trying to get back on the bus, as Pixie Bob will have used her quirk and send them down to the beast forest. Them looking back up to see that, well, Deku is just floating there with his wings. Deku saying, next time you guys should be less obvious. The pussycats being confused since Deku is basically flying and have wings. Aizawa saying, yeah, whatever, get back down there, it's training. Deku listening to Aizawa and flying back down towards the beast forest. Him asking, are you guys okay? Bakugo walking up to Deku and saying, yeah, we're fine, Deku. Why didn't you warn us that was going to happen? Well, Kachan, I thought you know since it is obvious. Well, you did know that, but you were too late. Well, not everybody is like you, Deku. So what should we do first? Deku saying, I think first we should save Mineta from getting killed. Deku pointing at Mineta's direction. Everybody looking that direction as they would see the Earth monster, or just monster, with Todoroki, Kirishima, and Bakugo jumping into action, them destroying that monster in a few seconds. While that was happening, Deku would have said, by the way, the Wild Wild Pussycats wants us to get to their base in, as Deku would create a watch in his hands, him looking at it and saying, huh, 3 hours. As Ida would start to form a plan. Deku walking up to Kirishima and Bakugo, placing his hands on their shoulder and saying, hey, do you guys want a challenge? Kirishima being confused and saying, what challenge, Midoriya? A race. Whoever touches the base first will be the winner. Bakugo saying, then what's the prize? Uh, I don't know. How about I leave that for you guys to decide? Or should I say, the winner to decide? Kirishima and Bakugo being fired up and saying, so, when do we start? How about now? As both Kirishima and Bakugo would start to run towards the base, Bakugo throwing explosions to propel himself forward, while Kirishima is using 20% of Fukao. Ida and the rest of Class 1A being confused since both Bakugo and Kirishima just went into the beast forest alone. Well, together. Ida walking up to Deku and asking him what he told them. Deku saying that he gave them a challenge and that they should start moving towards the base themselves. The class agreeing as they would start to go towards the base as well. Now over with Bakugo and Kirishima. Bakugo would have been blasting into and through multiple earth monsters or just monsters. Kirishima also smashing through multiple earth monsters as well, them basically being neck and neck, as they would start to see the base in the distance. Kirishima seeing that the base is, well, close, he would have charged up one for all at 100% in his legs, him also hardening his leg to his unbreakable mode, as he would have jumped up and towards the base. Bakugo seeing that Kirishima just basically passed him, he would have thought, screw it. Him lighting every sweat that is behind him and making them explode. Basically, the entire backside of Bakugo is, well, red hot. It creating a giant explosion, as that explosion would have sent Bakugo flying towards the base at high speeds. This being able to catch up to Kirishima's, well, 100% jump, both of them extending out their hands and crashing into the base. Well, not crashing into the base, just touching it. Them looking at each other and thinking that they touched the wall of the base at the same time. Them starting to argue on who is the winner. This is when they would have heard, "Can you guys stop arguing with each other?" Them being confused as they would look around. Bakugo saying, Deku, where are you?" "Oh, me? Right next to you." "Huh? Where?" As their shoulders would start to form some sort of slime. The slime jumping off of their shoulders and combining and reforming to be Deku. Them being confused and saying, "Wait, I thought you were back with the class." Deku saying, "Well, I am." Kirishima saying, Then how are you here? Don't you remember I can clone?" "Oh yeah, I forgot about that." "Seriously, you have too much abilities." Bakugo saying, "Well, Deku, who won?" "You, Kachan, you won." Kirishima being surprised and yelling, "What? How did Bakugo win? I used 100% of One for All. How?" "Ha, suck it, shitty hair. You lose. Even with All Might's power, you are still weaker than me." Deku saying, Kachan, before you say anything or do anything else, can you, like, get dressed?" Him pointing at Bakugo's clothes, with Bakugo looking down to see that, well, half of his clothes is gone. And I don't mean upper half and lower half. I mean the entire back half of his clothes is gone, and it is currently falling off from his body. Basically, he's about to be naked. Him just saying, Deku, can you, like, create some clothes for me?" Is that the thing you want for winning?" "What? Hell no, just give me some clothes." "Okay, sure, calm down." Deku basically covering Bakugo in slime and turning his slime into clothes. "So, are you happy, Kachan?" "Well, a bit." "So, what do you want for winning then?" "I want to use and wear my wind gauntlet 24/7. "Oh, okay, but can I change a bit of the wind gauntlet?" "What are you trying to do, Deku?" "Hey, I just want to make it easier for you." "Easier for what?" "For you to wear 24/7. Deku creating the wind gauntlet and infusing it with slime. Him giving the slime-infused wind gauntlet to Bakugo. Deku saying, "Here, it's all done." What's the difference?" "It's basically like your normal wind gauntlet, but it can just, well, listen to your thought and appear whenever you want it to. But even if you don't want it to appear, it would still be there. So basically, secret weapon and also secret protection. Bakugo taking that slime infused wing gauntlet and wearing it. It disappearing and, well, surprising Bakugo, since it feels like that there's nothing there. Him trying to think that it is there again. It reappearing. Well, Kachan, I hope you like your new gift, and well, see you in like an hour or so, with the clone Deku disappearing. Now, over with the real Deku, he and Class 1A would have been in the middle of the forest and fighting off those dirt monsters. Deku and the entire Class 1A arriving at the base about 1 hour later, and whenever they arrived, they would have saw Bakugo and Kirishima eating food. Everybody being confused as Bakugo would have said that the entire class is too slow. So slow that they finish cooking and is about to finish eating. If you're wondering when Bakugo learned to cook, or well, both Bakugo and Kirishima, they learned to cook in the other world. Now, Bakugo and Kirishima would have continued to eat, while Deku and the rest of Class 1A would have went and gathered some more wood and create a fire, them starting to cook food for themselves, and after an hour or so, they would have finished cooking and well eating as well, as this is when Aizawa and the Watwa Pussycats would have arrived, them being surprised to see that Class 1A is able to get to the base within 3 hours, them telling the entire class that they will start training the next day and that they should relax and, well, regain energy for tomorrow's training because it is going to be hard. Now, after the entire class finished washing the dishes and stuff like that, they would have went to the hot springs. And Deku, instead of being in his human form, he would have been in his slime form. Him being able to relax, as this is when Mineta would start creeping out. Him saying that he wants to go over and look at the girls, as Deku would have thought, and just when I thought I can relax, this guy comes around and start creeping out on the girls. Seriously, can you not be a pervert for one day? As this is when Mineta would have started to climb the wall, with Deku shooting out his slime to try and grab Mineta and pull him down. Him doing so, as Mineta would have been pulled from the wall and onto the floor. Deku wrapping his slime around Mineta's body, this making Mineta stick to the ground, with Deku going back to relax in the hot springs. Now, we will time skip to the day after, or well, the next day, it being 5 o'clock. That is in the morning, not in the afternoon. Everybody being tired since, 5 o'clock? Yeah, it's too early. With Aizawa telling everybody the purpose of this training camp and that the training will start now. But before that, he would like a test. Him the same as the anime would have told Bakugo to throw that ball. Bakugo taking that ball and chucking it as far as he can, as he would have thrown an explosion. And this time, Bakugo would have got 2,000 meters, with everybody being shocked since in the Quark Apprehension test, Bakugo got 720 meters. So it is a big improvement. Everybody asking him how he got that strong. Bakugo just saying, simple, I train with the best. him looking straight at Deku. Aizawa remembering that Kirishima, Deku, and Bakugo is always a group, he would have thrown another ball at Kirishima, Aizawa telling Kirishima to throw the ball as well, which Kirishima does, him hardening his entire right arm into unbreakable mode, also charging it up with 100% of one for all, him throwing the ball as hard as he can, as Kirishima would have gotten 2,000 meters as well. Everybody having a flashback to when it is the quirk apprehension test. Them remembering that Kirishima got 760 meters. Everybody being shocked as they would have looked straight at Deku. Them saying, "What kind of training did you do with them?" Well, it's hard to say, but let's put it this way. Hey Kachan, what? Answer me seriously. Do you want to train with me? What do you mean training with you? Do you mean by sparring with you or doing your training routine? I mean both of those things add together. Oh, if that's the case then hell no. Doing your training routine is already hard enough, and you want me to spar with you? Do you want me to die, or do you just want to use me as a guinea pig again? Everybody being speechless to hear that Deku has used Bakugo as a guinea pig. As Kaminari would have said, Bakugo, aren't you just over-exaggerating it a bit, right, Kirishima? Him looking at Kirishima. As Kaminari would have been surprised to see that Kirishima has a, well, blank expression. Him waving his hand across Kirishima's face while saying, "Kirishima, hello, Kirishima, are you there?" Kirishima saying, "No, please no." Kaminari being confused saying, "What?" Kirishima continuing saying, "Please don't do this to us, Midoriya." Deku saying, "Don't worry, Kirishima, I won't do it here." As Kirishima would have relaxed. Him saying, "Oh, thank God." Kaminari looking back at Bakugo. Him saying, "Wait, are you exaggerating?" Bakugo looking at Kaminari. Him saying, "Trust me, if you want to get stronger, you need to train with Deku. But let me warn you, if you do train with Deku, you will feel hell." Deku saying, "What do you mean feel hell? Isn't that hard?" "Of course it isn't that hard. For you, that is. You are a freaking slime, and I am a freaking human." "Oh yeah, I forgot about that." "Of course you did. But sparring with you is not even the hardest part. The hardest part is sparring with Veldora." Everybody being confused to hear the name Veldora, since they don't know who Veldora is. As Ochako would have asked, who's Veldora?" Kugo saying, "Oh, Veldora, he's a true..." Him covering his mouth right before he said dragon. Ochako being more confused and asking, "A true what?" With Deku using fog communication would have told Bakugo that he just made a big mess. Bakugo thinking, "Yeah, I know Deku, I know I messed up, so can you help me? Because if you can't tell, I'm kind of panicking right now." As Deku would have said, "A true friend of mine." Everybody still being confused, but they understand what Deku just said, as Deku would have used fog communication again and telling Bakugo that he owes him a favor, as Aizawa would have stopped them from, talking to each other again, as he would have started to split everyone into groups, him telling everyone that they are going to start training right now, everybody having to train the same way they did in the anime, except that Deku Bakugo and Kirishima are in their own group, them training with each other. As Tiger would have walked up to Aizawa, him saying, Eraserhead, are you sure that those three kids do not need training? I mean, they are strong, but they are just still kids. With Aizawa saying, don't underestimate them. Even though they are just kids, they are truly something else. Tiger being confused as just as he was about to say something, they would have heard an explosion. Them looking over to see that it is in the forest. Tiger rushing in to see what is going on. And whenever he got there, he would have saw Bakugo and Kirishima on the ground, with Deku standing on top of them. Him hearing Deku saying, I thought I told you guys not to use long range attacks. Bakugo saying, Yeah, I'm sorry, but that was the only way I can think of to get you off of me. No, there's actually a lot more ways to do that. And you, Kirishima, you should really start using higher percentage of your enhancement quirk. This is when Tiger would have walked out of the forest and tell Aizawa that it is just Deku training Bakugo and Kirishima. By the way, if you're wondering why Deku said enhancement quirk, is because Deku sensed that Tiger is close to them and that he can hear them talking. Also, the reason behind Bakugo saying that sparring with Deku is not the hardest part, and that sparring with Veldora is the hardest part, is because when Deku spars with Bakugo and Kirishima, he holds back, since he doesn't want to hurt them too much. But Veldora, he still holds back, but not as much as Deku. So, yeah. And before you ask, Deku did invite Veldora to come and train Bakugo and Kirishima, since number 1, they need another training partner other than themselves. By themselves I mean Kirishima, Bakugo, and Deku. Second, Veldora do need to let loose every once in a while, and this is also why Bakugo and Kirishima thinks that fighting Veldora is harder than fighting Deku, even though Deku is, well, currently stronger than Veldora. Now, this is the end of this video. I know that nothing much happened in this part, but I promise you that in the next part, there will be action. So, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please like, comment, and subscribe. That'll be amazing, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye!